Hey kids, what are we looking at today? We're going to look at a half and a half iced tea lemonade, the Arnold Palmer Spiked, weighing in at 5%, and I have no clue. Please drink responsibly. Malt beverage with natural flavors. And who is this by? ArnoldPalmer.com. Okay. Smells kind of shitty. Cheers. Thank God it doesn't taste anything like it smells. Alright. Well, seeing how it takes about 30 seconds to review some shit, and then 57 minutes to talk about everything else, let's do this first. It doesn't look like it has much carbonation, but the carbonation is there in the mouthfeel. It's not super sweet, but I'm getting kind of the tea side before the lemonade side. But yeah, on a day like today where it's hey Google, what's the temperature right now?
The current temperature in Duluth is 77.
It's pretty warm today. And I spent a majority of it running a jackhammer and not the one on the end of the Bobcat. That was super ass gay. Mama. You know what I'm saying? So let's just get rid of... first of all, a big congratulations to the horny one for being picked as the winner in the youth giveaway. Now, I know. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of have pull Jim's name, and there's a side of you that's yes. You know, Jim's a good guy. Jim does so much for the gun community. Not to mention, I guess I mean that I don't actually have a brother. I have a hard time believing that I would get along with my own brother as well as I do Jim. It sucks that I'm here, he's there, but you know, we talk on a daily basis. I'm on his Spreaker in the hangar, and he's unlocked and loaded, and he talks to Christine, and it's just I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I love Jim in a full homo kind of way. So but you just know there's those people out there. One of them watch. Hang on. One of them watching this shit. But having said that, I am not going to sit here and depuff Jim's sales. He can do that all for himself. But let's just say that the behind the scenes stuff already shows the quality of Jim's character. So I'll let Jim deal with that. I kind of wish I would have bought more of these. First, there was a whole bunch of comments. We got Smile Money in on the iHeart Club, and Mr. Holster after I was already done. DFC saying last. Technically, Stephen Bush beat you to that. He made a funny comment about sounds like I got R2D2 tied up or gagged nearby. Stephen Bush looks like he's a day behind. And Stephen Bush, hey, your phone is blue and not gay. And the funny thing is Christine wasn't particularly happy with the my color choice, but now it's hers. But yeah, I got Steve. I had to do the blue one because the blue one comes with the yellow stylus. The other one doesn't, and it's like, holy shit! You know, the amount of cool things that you can say do with just the stylus. Like if you're doing a selfie and it's hard to get your finger up there for the for the camera, you can you use the stylus. You can use the stylus to take a picture. You can just go. And it doesn't have batteries in it. It's actually powered by capacitors. It'll, I think they say it'll run for something like 15 hours without a before it needs to be charged. And when you do, wait for it, when you do this, it takes 85 seconds to be fully charged because it's capacitors and not batteries. So hang on, my neighbor asking me some technical stuff. Oh, and I see I'm supposed to call Travis. Travis, this is why I was delayed. But yeah, the I don't even remember what the other color the option was, but the other one didn't have the yellow stylus, so I had to go that route. Okay, so first was Joey Cuz. First, Suck It, Aunt Keck. And then Lone Wolf Company saying first, but really being second. Ben N, third on the podium. Ed, fourth. Gunwild, sixth or fifth. Oh, man. Did you guys see Big Jeff's video today? His brother was asked because of his car, a 1934 Ford. Coincidentally, Big Jeff, that's Christine's bucket list car. That and a 1965 Ford Mustang convertible. I'm not sure if the convertible part is a must, but the 65 is, because it's. Never mind. We never talk about women's age. But, for instance, I want my birth year, and that'd be the 67 GT500, which is much better than the 65. I like the 66 Fastback, too, but if I'm going to go with something, I'm going to go with the 67. But, if you guys have not checked out Jeff's video, the Something Cool video, you absolutely have to check it out. His brother was asked to borrow his car for a commercial, and his brother's friend had the scenery, the property that they wanted in it, and they just ended up asking Jeff's brother to play the role of the father in the video, and it's from Lucas Oil, and it's a fucking absolutely fantastic commercial, and Jeff's brother doesn't look anything like him. DFC 7th, maybe 6th. 6th. DFC, by the way, funny story, just looked up Hyperfire Triggers and noticed their address number is 2 blocks from where I work on the same road. Laugh out loud. Yeah, they're a local company too. Ed, gotta love side boob. Yes. Smile Money, top 99. Yes, you nailed that one. Mr. Holster, both forwards and backwards. The backwards one scared me a little, mostly because I would never hear the end of it with if my wife saw it. I don't even know what the hell I was talking about. That's on the coffee pale ale. Salty Shellback, The Samuel Adams Oktoberfest tastes really close to the homebrew I make with the raisin tea. I still buy Samuel Adams because the libs want to boycott it. Yeah, I did make the comment that's more of a reason. That's more of a reason. Not wouldn't be prudent. We have to support Samuel Adams. Mr. Holster, minute 7. Interesting wanting to open and drink a Samuel Adams that fast. Mr. Holster, 15th. Ed, I would go with head smashed on another rock. And I'm pretty sure you're talking about Jim's piece of shit, deranged, fuck-stain neighbor. Rich Huff, cheers all. Cheers, Rich. Rich from Massachusetts 12 here, still at work as usual. Cheers. Ed, big thanks on the trigger info. Seriously, very informative. All I can tell you is what I know. I've had the opportunity to get to try quite a few things. So my information comes to you via, you know,
Come here.
the dog tries to kill herself.
One of these days you're going to split your freaking head right open.
I just give you information based on having used stuff, and I am extremely impressed with the Hyperfire trigger.
Did you hear her? She fell on the stairs again.
There's a shock. We should just put her down, shall we?
Eric, don't shoot the dog.
Like I said, the Hyperfire is a straight bow, but they give you this shoe. You can choose to put it on there or not. And the shoe has different stop points. You could click it all the way up. You could bring it all the way down. I put both mine in the same spot. Gives me, you know, that repetitive placement. It's a very, it's kind of hard to tell. It's a very wide shoe, so it gives you a nice spot to put, you know, put your finger on. And it, like I said, it has, see it move? No. And you won't. And then the reset. And that is the light feel, even though it is the heaviest set of springs. So there's no concern that you're gonna have a light primer strike. And it's a very, you know, there it is. Very easy to assemble. I think their new generation might even be even easier than this. But if I was putting together a gun and I had any kind of intent and purpose for it, I would definitely want the Hyperfire. In the case of my Justin memorial gun, you know, this is it. This is the stock that was with him on his rifle through his tour of duties in Iraq, in the sandbox, and there's no way it will stay on this rifle forever. So, but yeah, as far as triggers go, you know, but then again, this trigger is twice the cost of, say, the Velocity, and I love that trigger too. It's Justin. Gillian, congrats to Jim for winning the youth giveaway. I was wanting just the guns and the ammo, but my brother won it all. Well, like I said, that's... Gillian again, Samuel Adams beer, to me, went downhill on taste. I do agree. Gillian, you got two great girls out of your bad choosing, though, Eric. Oh, you're talking about the hooker that I used to be married to. No, you're absolutely right. I ended up with fantastic kids out of the deal, and of course, one still has some interaction on the dark side. The other one will not, and they both get along with Christine. I personally couldn't be happier. I mean, Samantha, as far as Samantha's concerned, she has one mother. The other one is just an escapee from a loony bin. Muzzle first, I have a couple of neighbors in mind for that axe. Okay, I have to honestly admit, in my neighborhood, let me just see. I'm trying to go out now. I don't know everybody, but every time I meet somebody, it just seems like the camaraderie and this neighborhood just goes up. As of right now, I always get leery on. There was two houses. If you look straight out my front door, it's actually a big yard, and the house to the left is rental property, and they usually always rent to college kids, and that's always a concern. And the next house was some good friends, Dave and Tracy. Unfortunately, they moved. The couple that's in there now, first, if you guys know me, it's like, first of all, they never park out on the street, which is great because Christine always parks in one spot. Mike's wife always parks right in front of Christine. Danielle, we guys have met Danielle. It's crazy. She always parks right behind Christine. And it's like, every time someone new moves in, it's like, oh, we're going to have to retrain them on the parking. But I've never even had really a conversation. The people across from me have been there for almost 2 years, and I have never had an actual conversation with them. I mean, they wave, and I wave back, and their kids say stuff, and we talk to their kids, but they seem a little, antisocial, but they're quiet, and they never park out on the street. Then the next house used to be a fucking crack house, and they cleaned up the house and decided just to be done with it, and they sold it. And the people that are in there are, again, really quiet, really cool. He has a little bit of a handicap, so they always park. They got a sign put so that they can just park right in front of their house. Again, that is behind Danielle, so they have a spot. So yeah, it's just a fairly quiet and tight neighborhood. Anyone that's been here knows that, especially when we have the Shoot-A-Palooza and we end up filling the street up with cars, and I'm just like, everybody's all cool. I mean, they know it's, just a few days and it'll all be over. And yep, nobody I really want to ask you a question. Jolson, don't forget to eat the worm essay. Yeah, I might forget. Jolson again, you need more cowbell, or we need more cowbell. Okay, more cowbell it is. Mr. Ulster, so now you're not finishing beers on 2 channels. Ed, laugh my ass off. You think that libtard will ever call back? No. Matt Davis, October in September because beer. Yeah. Gillian again, I just modify my stock triggers to save money. I don't have to throw down. You can go a long ass way with a trigger. Trust me, anybody that has shot Christine's AR, she is a very particular person, and she's usually within a half a pound when I ask her, what do you think of this trigger? Yeah. And she is really happy. Anytime I've offered to replace the trigger in her rifle, she always says, don't touch it. What is it? It is a mil-spec trigger that was in that lower when we built that rifle for her. I took it out. I cleaned it up a little bit, a little polishing, got all the contact surfaces to a mirrored finish, and then I put in the yellow JP Enterprises trigger springs, the very lightest ones, and they flat out tell you, do not use these springs if this is a duty rifle. If this rifle is for defending your life, do not do this, because you could have light primer strikes. As of this moment in time, I couldn't even get within 500 rounds of being right on how many have gone down the tube on that rifle. She shoots the shit out of it, and she knows absolutely nothing about conserving ammo. For some reason, she thinks every single time it's some kind of a race. And she wants me to put the 100-round snail on it. As of right now, it has never had a failure of any kind. So, and I think it trigger pulls at 2.5 pounds. Gillian again, I'd gut him like a fucking fish. And I'm sure, again, we are talking about Jim, formerly known as Haboob 308, his awesome neighbor. Smile Money, move on. Oh yes, we need more Democrat women House members. The ones we have, Elizabeth Warren, Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, cannot ruin the country fast enough. Smile Money again. As for the youth giveaway drawing, that was your best drawing to date. Jim needs some candy with that package so he can lure children into his van to teach them patriot shit. Laugh out loud. Seriously, he wanted a heritage cowboy gun and not he has it, or I'm sure that's supposed to be now, but and now he has it. Congrats. Let's again, I can't really talk about it, but yeah, Jim wanted one thing of those 5. Read into it what you want. Missed. Sonoran Desert Prepper. I suck, but the Packers are by far the best battle box in the country. Just remember, judging a few misguided losers out of millions played by the NFL is not fair to the rest. It's frustrating, yeah. The Packers, see now you've just given me a dual reason, my friend. Not only do I not give a fuck about the NFL, and yes, he's absolutely right. In one regard, it is not fair because it is not all the teams. And then if we were to go into the microcosm of that, it is not all the members of all those teams. The NFL is doing it wrong. ESPN is doing it wrong. And if I was to get into the hockey, see, you can tell what I actually care about. If I was to get into football, it's the Vikings and anybody playing the Packers. Soccer Steve, hey man, you have a little something on your nose. Yeah, it's called blood. Actually, is it still there? See, I get a, what size is it, this one? I get a little spot. You can barely see it right there. I get a little spot, and I think it goes straight to my heart. And I've had scenarios where I've gone like, just like this, and all of a sudden it'll start to bleed. And I mean, it frickin', no matter what I do, like 2 hours later, it's still bleeding. It was such a concern that they actually, in one of my dermatology, because after you have cancer, you get to see your dermatologist every 6 months. They actually biopsied it, and it was nothing. But yeah, so you got an area that's really sensitive to, just, I mean, I can rub it with my finger sometimes, let alone if you by accidentally hit it with the shaver or something. Yeah, I think it's like literally just a straight tube right to my heart. It's like, so every now and then I fight that. NF who? Yeah, see, Stalker Steve doesn't know either. 18 minutes and 45 seconds, I pissed myself a little laughing. 22 minutes and 9 seconds, you sounded a little like Hornet Fixer, which ain't a bad thing. J-Dog, here, Stalker Steve, never choke your trigger. Real Cobra Burnout, cheers, Cobra. J-Dog, I want the Rock Island 6 in double stack. Yeah, I'd take that too. Oh, by the way, I got email confirmation about an hour ago. The Rock Island double stack is at Rock Island. So let's 9/11. Never forget. Just shooting Jim. His first hearing is on 9/11. How fucking crazy is that? Yeah, well, I hope they threw away the key, because that would have been today. J-Dog, clickbait titles work. Yes, they do. I'm sorry if anybody is offended by calling a bunch of awesome people. Again, no offense. That title was nothing but clickbait. The 3 guys that bitched about the title, don't know who they were, but they came over and watched it, didn't they? J-Dog, don't chop any fingers off with that hatchet. It's a very sharp hatchet. Zeus, thanks, Jim. My 6-year-old boy will enjoy the rifle. Okay. So like I said, the one thing that Jim wanted of the 5 was this one. So Zeus gave it away, not me. Jim wanted Zeus to have this. So that's where this one's going. Other than that, I'm not commenting. Moving on. Gunwild, I can understand not getting what you paid for from Geisley, but mine was free, so it's a fantastic trigger. See that? That's why I love mine. Stephen Bush, not going to use the Olight? Hey, buddy, I love you. The CRKT thingy has the curly end to be used as a keychain and go on a belt loop. Oh. Yeah, okay. Here's the light that Steve's talking about. It's pretty bright. I kind of, if nothing else, I do kind of dig that whole, magnet thing. So, you can stick it wherever you want, like Steve. Wade, when you're a true American, no good deed goes unpunished. Ain't that the truth? Oh, that's what Jim said. Formerly known as a Boop 308. Crazy Scotsman, Brew Babe Straight 10. EMT Rail Fan, maybe Joey's mom would blow your nut fire out. Let's just think about that for a minute. Now I see I got a shitload of comments from Jay on the Coffee Pale Ale. Coffee and pale ale. What the fuck? That ain't going to go well. J. Agreed. They pour and add flavoring. That way the production line does not get slowed down by actually properly aging and lagering beer. They are fucking phony at... I swear, the 3 beers that I had all tasted like the main beer in it was the same shit. CRKT, nice knife. Yeah, I haven't actually carried this one yet, but I definitely want to keep it around. I really like it, and as you can see, I have it here with my my butterfly knife. But I have been carrying this guy, and Brian McCown. I've been see. I've gotten to the point where I'm about 90% of the time with the front flipper. Who the fuck? My neighbor, Mikey. Okay, moving on, because we want this to be 59 minutes or less. Jay again on the wrong video. No handguard on the second knife, so no bueno. I mean the one I just showed you. Sharky, back home from Prague. Time for more catching up. Sharky on the spruce. He was on the right one a second ago. Catching up. Back when I was young, I could have made the ceiling fan with a shot. Today, not so much. You know, if I'm really motivated, Sharky, I could still hit it. Sharky on the coffee pale ale. Intro babe epic. Brew babe makes me want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. Also, I ain't overtaking that ass. Jay on the right one. Liking this beer girl lots. Sharky, rocking the S9 Plus here too. I will forward it to whoever comes in second. Whoever comes in second. See, I don't even want to even deal with this because I'm still trying to figure out how to get you your shit. That'll all make more sense in a moment here. Johnny, please stop showing all those knives. You're trying to start a chub fest over here. I hate when that happens. Aunt Keck, sorry I was late. Just came back from a beer hunt. Now I'm ready for the iHeart Club. Thank God. Joey's mom. Yeah, I wish you would come back as a bicycle seat too. I would never get off the seat, that is. You have issues, woman. DFC, good information on the Hyperfire systems. Thanks. Gonna have to look into that. All of my ARs are fitted with the LaRue MBTs, which is finer than a frog hair to pull. I have not used that one. Bearded CB, you pissed someone off because of a bunch of patriots showed up. Just show the eagle some more and they can add to the collection of tears. Oh, yeah. You need a crying towel? Here, cry on this, fuckers. Oh, home defender, Mr. Holster. Oh, before it gets too... Sorry, I should have Fucker. I got a little something in the mail yesterday. I want to say a big thanks to the Hornet Fixer. He had knives made. I know he had one made for John, and he had one made for Christine, and he had one made for me. And I think it's really, really awesome. I very much appreciate it. It's got that Damascus look. Well, at least well, maybe you just call that scrolling. I don't know. But Jim, thank you very much. And he also, I know we talked about this, but I can't remember. I'm still trying to. I still gotta ask him. He had this made, and it's another one that locks to the Picatinny rail. But I'm not sure what I was supposed to do with this. This is going in the girls or what, but I have to figure that out. Bearded CB again. Almost lighting your nuts on fire. I could hear Christine complain about the smell for weeks. Yeah, not me. Not me in pain or on fire, just the smell. Mr. Ulster, the guy in the cave has a good touch with a hammer and a vice. Mr. Holster, with the last comment, Jim needs to learn how to step back and let God do his job. God should be allowed to cull the herd at will, unimpeded. And now he is talking about Jim, a boob 308, not Hornet Fixer. So, two things. I know this is, impromptu and nobody, there was, three of you. Snoring Desert Prepper, Steve Bush, and Sharky, which Sharky is just kind of a, an extra throw in there. Stephen Bush. I'm not sure if I have your new address since you moved. The Pelican case is yours, and being that I actually wasn't kidding when I said because of the absolutely lousy customer service from Olight, I could give a fuck about them. So Steve, I don't know what the... Oh, I think it's right here. Something else to mail out. I got guns heading in all sorts of directions, and okay, so congratulations, Steve, for winning the drawing on the Pelican case and the Olight flashlight. Seems like a solid little light. Too bad their customer service sucks. And what's wrong with the crazy Scotsman? He likes the brew or the brew babe, and doesn't bust my balls for some whiskey. Okay, well, I guess my liver thanks all of you guys, and let's go for the iHeart Club. And we have... spoke too soon. Gillian, what's up, man? Well, you're in the iHeart Club, Gillian. First member. Thank you, my friend. Joey Cuz, this is late for you tonight. Yeah, Joey, I've been working extra hours on trying to get this piece of shit basement in this house done. Today sucked ass. The original plan was we wanted to be able to make it so that I could get the Bobcat into the basement and actually do demolition on the walls with the jackhammer attached to the Bobcat, and then I needed to tear up the basement floor. Well, none of this shit happened as planned, and I had no choice but to actually rent a big electric jackhammer, and that's what I did all day today. This beer is actually very, very heavy right now. Gonna finish this and pop Mommy's Little Helper and probably go to bed early and in pain. So, after working late, taking care of that, I'm also dealing with of our two skid steers. The older one, the one I refer to as the Bibbidi Kitty, because she's got more class, but she is a little smaller than the new one. The new one is more of a beast, but I still have a thing for my Bibbidi Kitty. The ignition fucking sucks. The key falls out of it, and it manages to go through there's a auxiliary hydraulic arm that's right there, the controls for it right there, and the keys will actually fall through that crack and then down into the engine compartment. So I before I left today, I pulled the ignition assembly out of it and went and found another one. And the local place that I like to go, they didn't have it in. He's like, I have that one, but we were all sold out. And they called around, and they found one at another store up over the hill. And he's just like, I'll have my guy run and get it, and I'll give you a call. And I ran a few more errands, and blah blah blah. I came home, took care of a few things here, and then they called and said I could go pick it up. And I ran and picked it up, but I didn't go back to the job and put it in. And I'll go in early tomorrow morning and reinstall it so that it's up and running before my Greggy Poo gets there. So yes, Joey, you are sharp. This is later than normal. Crazy Scotsman whiskey. Whoops, I accidentally gave him a thumbs down. I'm sorry. See, that's what I get for opening my frickin' mouth. Scotsman, like I said, it's proper. Not to mention it's got a little bit more octane in it than normal. Crazy Scotsman. A true individual, and somebody that I'm proud to call a member of my family. More deserving to be called an American than a lot of people that were born here. Scotsman, I love you, my friend. Joey, cuz only me, Mike, and the Scotsman in the I Heart Club tonight. Aunt Keck, hello, Sneaky E. Johnny Concho, I Heart Club. Cheers. Cheers, Johnny. I still gotta rummage around and find something to head back your way for the last cigars. Oh, and by the way, Johnny, if you are interested in knowing, the of the two different cigars that you sent, they were both from the same manufacturer. The little ones are normally really what I prefer, because I can take Shelby on a walk, and they're like the perfect smoking length. But there is a real issue with the drag coefficient on the little ones. They're like way too tightly wrapped or something. The big one has the smokability on the big ones are awesome, and the flavor is like right there. I mean, you're like down to the Cheech and Chong thing. You want to get the last of it. Those ones are really good. I appreciate it. Now, having said that, of all the cigars I've had so far, my favorite brand is honestly Acid. I know, sorry. Acid. I love Macanudo, Punch, and I have a guest. I have a guest tomorrow. I'll save that as a surprise. And I have a guest in 2 weeks, and that would be Pre-Dawn and his lovely better half, Caitlin, better known as Moonshine Sprayer. He really likes. Oh, I can't remember it now. He's gonna get pissed too. But I'm pretty sure my smoke shop sells the ones that he recommended. It was a old gangster name. I'll get some. But yeah, and just for the fun of it, because it seems like they come in and second to the last was Jolson. I Heart Club Needs More Cowbell. Finish It Up. And last was Aunt Keck. So sneaky, he says. So Jolson. Mr. Holster. What's this shit? Since when do I ever not finish? I didn't start on my other channel, so how can you say that I didn't finish it? Okay. Real Juice, Select Teas. Must be 21 or older to enjoy. Please drink responsibly. Lacrosse. It's too bad. The half and half, Arnold Palmer Spiked. Again, this is going in the spiked tea category. It has natural flavors. I mean, the smell was a little off, but you don't notice that when you're drinking it unless you just want a sniffy sniff. I'd get this again. I want to say that it was $2, no more than $2.50. Yeah, that's what happens when a brick lands on your finger. I'd definitely get this again. This would be a great brew for a scenario like today where, 5-6 hours running a jackhammer and constantly looking through the pool of sweat and not being able to find a dry spot in my shirt. The shower felt oh so good. In the spiked tea category, though, I would give this an 8. Okay, pretty sure there's going to be a brewer review tomorrow once my special guest gets here. So again, huge congratulations to Jim Hornet Fixer on being picked. And like I've said constantly, well, first of all, I don't know how many entries. Christine was in charge of that. I think she said there was 47 pages, and the piece of paper, I want to say that there was I don't know how many rows, but if you saw that piece of paper, it was half So she had 2 columns of names, 47 pages worth. I mean, Zeus alone had, I think, 67 entries. Right on his heels is Stalker Steve. These guys are the ones that are right now so far in the lead for getting that hand-built rifle from my buddy Pete from Texas. Granted, we have a long ways to go. That was the first campaign. Christine has been working on a list. Everybody always asks, what could I do to help? And she put together a list. Some things are kind of expensive. Maybe a few guys could go in on it. For instance, the Pelican 1750 is the case that was if you're going to build a high-end rifle like that, I trust my shit only to the Pelican. Not my phone, just my guns. The 24-inch build has a Pelican case, the Mosin has a Pelican case, and of course, the JP Enterprise has a Pelican case. She found a shooter's mat that she really liked, and that unfortunately was a couple $100. But yeah, she wants to do a video and put all this stuff out there. Granted, there's things on this list that maybe a couple guys could go in on, but again, everybody always wants to know, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? So she's got this list. So you can look forward to that. Otherwise, again, thank you, Hornet Fixers. This is awesome. I mean, I'm gonna put this up here with the rest of my awesomeness. And again, I'm not exactly sure what I was supposed to do with this, but again, it would be awesome to have a whole bunch of these. I mean, I'd put that on a rifle. I mean, I've kind of been wanting to get a hold of another dog tag holder and put something on the other side of this. But then again, this is my Justin tribute rifle. So, Jim, you'll have to let me know. Otherwise, we'll probably see you guys tomorrow. And as soon as I can, Steve, I will get the Pelican case and the O-Light, which appears to be a pretty decent light, but their service sucks. So fuck them. I evidently have to go. So, cheers, guys. See you tomorrow.